This special meeting of the West Palm Beach City Commission. Today is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, and the time is 5:01 p.m. And we'll start with the item 3.1, which is public hearing of resolution number 240-23F. Adopting the final fiscal year 2023-2024 operating and debt service millage rates, and resolution number 241-23F, adopting the final fiscal year 2023-2024 operating budget. Ms. Souffrant.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Bridget Souffrant, Chief Financial Officer. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you tonight the final public hearing to adopt the fiscal year 2024 budget and millage rate. Leading up to this evening, we held the Mayor Commission budget work session on July 17th. We held 2 community budget meetings on July 19th. We had a special commission meeting for setting the not to exceed millage rate on July 20th, and we held the first public hearing on the budget and the millage rate on September 11th.
Are you looking at a slide? Because we don't see the same slides you do.
Just the first slide.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you were looking at. Okay.
Did it shift for you? Okay. Tonight's meeting is the conclusion of our budget process and will be a high-level summary where we'll review the fiscal year 2024 final general fund and citywide operating fund budgets. We will also look to set the final millage rate and adopt the budget. The city's taxable property value increased $2.8 billion, or 15.41%. Of that increase in value, $284 million in value was a result of new construction projects added to the city base. The Mayor and Commission chose to reduce the millage rate by 0.0657, bringing the operating millage rate to 8.1308 and foregoing $1 million in tax revenue. This reduction is reflected in the proposed budget tonight. The fiscal year 2024 general fund budget is a balanced budget at $242,914,450. Since the preliminary public hearing, the general fund budget total changed slightly by $5,594, resulting from an out-of-balance transfer in from another fund to the general fund. The final fiscal year 2024 general fund budgeted revenues increased over fiscal year 23 adopted budget by $17.4 million, or 7.8%. On our general fund expenditures slide, you see the same $17.4 million increase, and the expenditures are broken down by category for your review. The chart before you is showing your fiscal year 2024 final budget compared to the fiscal year 23 adopted budget. The first subtotal shows your total citywide funds, including the general fund, all special revenue funds, debt service fund, capital fund, enterprise funds, and internal service funds, for a total of $711,381,685. That is a $52.6 million increase, or 8%, over fiscal year 2023. At the time of the first public hearing, we were still finalizing a few of the funds and needed to pause in order to prepare the presentation. Since that meeting, we have finalized and completed the budget for all funds. The greatest change was in the capital funds category, which resulted in a $9 million reduction. This was simply a balancing of the funds. Nothing changed from a project basis in any of those funds. This slide also includes your CRA and ECR budget totals. These budgets are approved by their respective boards and are included in our documentation as all citywide funds. However, for the purposes of today's presentation and your adoption, we are focusing on the total citywide funds at the $711 million. This is a copy of the budget summary that was published on September 24th in the Palm Beach Post, displaying the total citywide budget of $711,381,685. In summary, again, the favorite slide, our fiscal year 2024 general fund budget is balanced at $242 million. Tonight, we will be looking for approval of Resolution 240-23F to adopt and set the millage rate, as well as 241-23F to adopt the city's annual budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. I would like to take a brief moment to thank City Administrator Faye Johnson and Assistant City Administrator Jose Luis Rodriguez for their guidance, direction, and hard work in the fiscal 24 budget process. I also want to thank the department directors and their teams who assisted in the creation of their budgets. I also would like to thank the budget team, Kyle, Rosanna, and Monica. Every budget year has a theme or a direction, and as we're in it working through the logistics, we expect curveballs and we know that we need to get down to work. This year, throughout the budget process, the budget team remained flexible, agile, and tenacious, and I couldn't be more proud of them and their hard work and professionalism. Thank you, Kyle Roberts, Budget Manager, and Rosanna Santana, Budget Supervisor. With that, I will take any questions.
Well, thank you. Let me just add to the kudos. I think, Commissioners, we pointed out before that early in this process, the software crashed, and staff had to manually recreate a lot of the data that was used, and that was a yeoman's job, as you might well imagine, but they got it done, and they presented us what I think is a very fine budget. Is this the largest operating fund budget in the history of the city? Do we have any larger ones back in the heydays prior to the first recession?
My year and a half, I'm going to say, I'm going to say it's the largest that I am aware of on record.
All right, we used to get a little chart, a bar chart that showed us how the budget had increased over the years. Just curious. Obviously, it's not pertinent to what we get done today, but I was just curious as to the...
They will confirm that, but I think that is correct.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, Commissioners? Commissioner Lambert?
Thank you. Ms. Souffrant, as you mentioned, in just a year and a half that you've been here and under the direction of our mayor and our city administrator, just over the past few years, I've seen this process get more and more streamlined, and I want to say thank you for that, and thank you to your staff and team. I think that this budget represents our commitment to the growth and well-being of our city, and the budget numbers are a testament to our dedication to our essential services, to continued growth and economic development, and to the quality of life within our city. And I am thrilled to see this balanced budget today. So thank you so much for your dedication. And I know that we're right in the middle of having some visioning sessions, and I'm excited for those to help continue to guide this process as we move forward in future years. So thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Commissioner Fox?
Thank you so much to all of your team involved, and also Ms. Johnson. I've heard from so many employees behind the scenes that you have been such a cheerleader for them, and so thank you for all that you've been doing. I wanted to just ask a little bit about the employee salary raises. When will they go into effect, assuming that we pass this budget tonight?
October 1st with the first pay period of the new calendar year, or excuse me, new fiscal year.
Thank you.
Ms. Johnson, did you have you want to say something?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I just want to also extend acknowledgement to our CFO as well as the budget team. Primarily, putting together a budget is a very fluid process. We go through quite a bit of iterations to get to the final product, and I think given the doing that heavy work under, the city administrator makes the job even tougher, and they have done a great job with just kind of adjusting to, my style of management and the various data points that, I insist that they provide. I will tell you that although they are the resident experts when it comes to the budget, I go through all of the numbers with a fine-tooth comb to just kind of make certain that I understand it from the ground up. And every year it has been a great education to just understand the nuances, of what goes into putting the budget together as a whole. But I also don't want to be remiss in just thanking the departments and their fiscal staff that put the departments' budgets into the system and then go through the budget review and explaining the various requests that they have and being able to justify why they think it should be included in the budget. And then to thank you as the policymakers of our city, for your confidence in what we present to you in terms of the budget. It truly is a team effort, and then by all means, that includes the mayor as well. So it is a extensive collaboration to get us to a point of starting the budget process to having a balanced budget before you for your consideration for adoption tonight.
Ms. Johnson, for the public and for us on the dais, give us a sense as to when you start this budget process with the initial meetings with department heads and.
We have a very stringent schedule that departments have to follow. We start the budget process in February, and there are different timelines that they have to meet in terms of loading up their budgets. There are specific formats that they have to submit their budget requests on. There are justification forms that accompany their requests. So it's not a process whereby they just sit and ask for a certain amount of money. They have to justify why that particular amount of money is being requested, and they do that every year. So we don't just automatically sign off on a budget request, even though it may be for continuation of operating the departments. We try to be very judicious in terms of reviewing all of the budgets that come into the budget process and making certain that we've looked at everything with the fine-tooth comb, that we feel confident that we are making the very best use of taxpayers' dollars, and to also make certain that the requests align with the priorities that the commission and the mayor have set. Everything that we do from a budget standpoint really should be in alignment with our strategic plan, one of the strategic pillars. And I was glad to see the CFO and her team take that leadership step with rolling these strategic pillars into the budget. We saw that presentation, and that was a first-time effort. So you're going to see more and more of that, because nothing that we do should not comport with the strategic plan and vision that has been set for the city.
Very good. Well, if there are no other comments, okay, Commissioner Lambert.
Thank you. I know we're not going into a deep dive on the presentation, but just given some of the comments that were made, I just wanted to comment about how important the staff increases were, and that we're talking about the best use of our funds, the priorities of the strategic plan, and none of that can be accomplished without staff and retention of good staff. And so I'm very excited that that's a big piece of this budget. Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of resolution number 240-23F, adopting a final ad valorem millage rate of 8.1308 mils for general operating purposes, which is 7.96% more than the calculated rollback rate of 7.5312, and a millage rate of 0.0698 mils for general obligation debt service, for a total millage rate of 8.2006 mils.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Ward?
Present.
Yes. President Warren? No. Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
President Warren? Oh, me again. Okay, aye. Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Peduzzi,
Aye.
Commissioner Lambert.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, if there is no other discussion, I will entertain a second motion.
Mayor, I move approval of resolution number 241-23F, adopting a final budget for fiscal year 2023-2024.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second again.
It's been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
President Warren. Aye. Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Peduzzi,
Aye.
Commissioner Lambert.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Very good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last item on this agenda. So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank